Hi, my name is Mary McLellan, and I want to do a second part in a two-part series about how to create a music video. I have already done a video that is from my PC, and it shows you how to do a music track in the free program Audacity. That also can be a free program used on your Mac computer. Now, this second part video will show you the actual movie portion of the video, and we will take that music track that you made in Audacity and import it into iMovie. So of course we're using iMovie on a Mac computer or your iPad. So let's go ahead and begin. There are two ways that you can import the music track into your iMovie. One way is to start where your music is. And I have my music in my Google Drive. So wherever it is that you have your music, whether you email it to yourself and you pull it up through mail or whichever process it is that you do. So I have it here in my Google Drive. I'm going to pull this up. It's my song and stem. And so I can pull that up and see I've got that playing track. That's what I had exported in my previous video from Audacity. And in the top right-hand corner with the three little dots, I can open this in. So that's in the middle here. I want to open in, and one of the options is iMovie. So I can send that to iMovie, and I want to create a new movie. So I click Create a New Movie. And so then that is putting that in to this movie. And so now what I can do is, now that this sound system is in there, so now that the music track is in the video, I can now use and import in the pictures that I want to use in my movie, or even other little video segments. So you see here in the top right-hand corner, moments or videos or photos. Those are options, or you could even have your pictures on your iCloud Drive, wherever it is that you have your pictures. Mine are in photos. This also shows up in moments. And so what I have here are pictures that I had previously gotten from the internet. So I had on my iPad been in my browser, and I had found pictures that I wanted to use, and I had, clicked those images and saved those into my photos. So then those photos, are showing up. There's that one that I just did. Those photos are showing up in my iMovie. And so I can then click on a photo, and it can drop that into my iMovie. So that's how I can handle that. And that's how I can get all the different pictures into my iMovie. I don't actually like this first one here, so I'm going to take that one, and I can hit the delete and get rid of that. I want to start off with something simple. I'm going to have a little title page, so I like this little plain one right here, and that's where I'm going to do my title. Now my movie is or my song track is just about 45 seconds long, and it does a chorus twice. So I know the first words say, want to make my song in STEM, so I'm going to use this song here, or this picture here. Want to use my song in STEM, something about something I know you can, and then something about learning. I can't remember right off the track. But let's just start with those. So here's my three pictures. Let's do this. So honestly, I can't remember the words, so I'll play by pushing this little play button, and then I can hear the words in there, and I can do that. But let's talk about a few features of these photos. So you can click on a photo, and then you've got some options. One is you can make it a stagnant. It says Ken Burns disabled. So that makes it just a stagnant picture. If I click on that picture and I then click the Ken Burns enabled, then you see this arrow on the top here says pinch to the starting position. So maybe I'm going to move this picture so it starts there. And then below it is where I want it to end up. So maybe I want it to end up here. So I then have this picture, and it's going to move as it goes through the photograph or the picture. I think it's probably going to need to be a little longer. I click on that picture, and I can grab the right-hand side and pull it to be longer. You will also notice in between the two pictures is a little segue. And that segue can be different kinds. There, you can see down at the bottom you have no segue or dissolving. You can make it a half of a second long. I typically make it shorter, and so on. So let's go ahead and play this and see if our picture's motion is lining up with the song itself. Here we go. Okay, so that's the end of the introduction. So I want this intro to go a little bit longer. So let's see if that goes.
Wanna hear your song?
Okay, that was too long. So I take it back a little bit.
Wanna hear your song?
Okay, I like that. So it transitions and it starts the words on my new picture. Okay, so I like to do that there. So I have this new picture. I really want it to I want it to be kind of centered. And let's see how it ends up. Okay, that's fine. Just go ahead and end that centered. So let's go ahead and
wanna hear your song in STEM, though you may not think you can, but you know it helps your students learning.
See, I want this picture on, you know it helps your students learning. So this one lasted too long. This second one was too long. And so let's see.
STEM, though you may not think you can, but you know it helps your...
Needs to be a little bit longer. Okay.
Though you may not think you can, but you know it helps your students learning. Wanna hear a song in STEM?
Okay, I like that. Now, one thing I noticed, let me scoot back here for a second.
Students learning.
Okay, so now it's about to start a new little section that maybe I want a whole another picture to. So here's the second half of the chorus. Want to hear?
Hear a song in STEM, give a better education, enhance.
Give a better education, enhance all knowledge and learning. So you know what I really like is I like this other picture, so I'm going to take that one and delete it. I really like this one here, right here, and what I want to do is, because I think it's really cool how it has the computer up here at the top, so I'm going to do the motion so it starts at this computer, and then by the end of the song, or by the end of that slide, I want it to not necessarily show all these words down here. I want it to end about in this location. So let me show you what I mean by that.
Your song in STEM, give a better education, enhance all knowledge and learning.
Okay, and so that really takes me through one complete chorus. I am probably, I can put some new pictures in there. I really like this one because it's got the brain, right there. And so anyway, so when I start that over again, I do have the option of using more pictures or using the ones that I could just go ahead and copy and paste from ones that I've already done, since it's essentially a repeat. All right, so there's where we are. Now, let's talk about getting the words on these slides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this slide, and if you notice at the bottom there are different actions. You can do things like duplicate it, titles, and filters. If I have for the titles, that's where I have different options of how the wording goes. And so I like to use this one a lot for my title slide, and so I will then type in here that the name of this is Song in STEM. Okay, and then I like to put what the tune is so people kind of know what to expect. And so we've got that tune, and that's Never Gonna Give You Up, Never Gonna Give You Up. Okay, done. So there we go. There's our Never Gonna Give You Up. We know what to expect. There's our intro. Now here comes
Wanna hear your song?
Want to hear your song in STEM. So I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to hit titles, and I'm going to use this one on the left. Notice you also can put it in the opening, in the middle, or in the closing. I don't really know exactly what that difference is. I like it in the middle here. So I'm going to click want to hear your song in STEM. So wanna hear your song in STEM. Want to hear your song in STEM. Now, I know that if I start, if I put the next line in here, see it goes like this.
Want to hear your song in STEM, though you may not think you can.
Though you may not think you can. That is really going to be too much on that one slide. So let me just show you a little trick that you could do if you want to. I'm going to take this slide and I'm going to go to the bottom where it says Actions, and I'm going to duplicate it. And bam, right there, it just duplicated it. When I click on this and then I go back and press Title, I want this second one to have different words. I want it, the words for that one is, though you may not think you can. Though you may not think you can. Okay? So now I have, want to hear your song in STEM, though you may not think you can. The problem is, this is probably too long here, so let me shorten this up. Furthermore, I like this thing in the middle to either be none or very short, maybe just a half of a second. So let me shorten these little slides up and see what I got. So here we go.
Want to hear your song in STEM, though you may not think you can, but you know it helps your students.
So, and you can also move these a little bit to the left, you know, if you think they're coming in just a tad late. You can get it right on the music.
Want to hear your song in STEM, though you may not think you can, but you know it helps.
Okay, so let me put my words in here and finish this thing up. But you know it helps, so let's put some words in here. But you know it helps your students learning. But you know it helps your students, and that's multiple students is learning. Okay, so there's that. So let's see what we have so far.
Want to hear your song in STEM, though you may not think you can, but you know it helps your students learning. Want to hear your song in STEM.
So see how this slide is way too long, and it really, I need to shorten this little segue up, because by the time the words got onto that slide, it was quite a bit later. So you see, those are the kind of decisions that I'm making as I go through this to line the words up with my video. So I'm either going to make that a shorter segue or make these slides shorter, whichever way that is. Now, I wanted to show you one other feature. There is this thing called filters. So I clicked on a picture at the bottom, filters. I could make a slide darker. If I make that slide darker or a different color, then do you know those words become a little bit more visible. So for example, notice the difference between the words on that slide and the words on this slide. You may not think there's much difference there, and maybe there's not, but depending on the type of pictures you have, you may find one way is better than
Want to hear your song in STEM, though you may not think you can, but you know it helps your students learning. Want to hear your song in STEM.
About finished here, because now we have just replication and trial and error getting all those words in there. So when you are done, again, you could, if you want to, if it repeats, you could then just click a picture, Actions, and duplicate that, and move it all the way over here where you're starting the thing again. So that's what I do if it's duplicating. So I'm pretending that I'm done. Up in the top left, it says Done. And so here's my screen. I can click on this and, of course, make the title of it. Song in STEM. Oh, song in STEM. But anyway, and then once you are done with that, in the bottom is the little arrow, and that's where you can then export it to wherever it is you want. You can save the video. You can send it to YouTube and make it public. You can send it to your drive. So you can save the file however it is that you want, And now you have a video that, if you put it on YouTube or you've sent it to people, anybody can utilize that for their assistance in their school or in their learning. So you can see I've got several others that I've done here, and my students listen to those to help them with their content. So I hope this helped you in knowing how to make a iMovie video to complete your music video so students can learn with song.